I've tried a couple of the features. I've tried bottom, left, right. None of them worked out under, particularly in glass. Center worked the best for me. Um, the glass size that I'm using under, we're at 105 by 105, and I'll explain to you guys that in a little bit. So we're going here. We'll open up. Now I did design this in another app, but we're here. I tried black and white. I can stay with grayscale even though this one doesn't have a lot. We'll go to the process. Of course, we're going to create a toolpath. This is where we change everything. I don't like dot. Dot takes too long. It doesn't come out bad. It just takes forever. When I do the line, that's actually the way I've been doing it, and it's been working out very well. You have the option, of course, of horizontal, vertical. I haven't tried diagonally. I just think, to me, it's too many moving parts. But I do want horizontal. I keep it at the 0.25, the 3000, and the 500. And definitely keep it at 100 power. I did go in there, mess around the intervals and the work speed, and because I did see other videos, but all the other videos are different lasers. They're infrared lasers. So with this 16-watt laser, this is the way we had to go. It wouldn't come out correctly any other. So the way we have it set has been perfectly fine for me. And of course, we save that, and then we go in there and create a G code. Now, I personally, the last couple times, have been creating a G code. I'm still messing around with it. So I made a G code for the vertical, and then I'll make or horizontal in this case, but and then I'm going to make another G code for the vertical. And my theory was, since it's under the same measurement, same area, once I send it over via the Wi-Fi or file, whichever way you're going to do it, I would run it under vertical once, and then I would run it under horizontal for the second time, vice versa, and it actually worked out pretty well. That's more or less depending on what exactly you're printing, but we'll talk more about that in a little bit. And of course, once you go to the workspace, those were my settings. If you guys have any other ideas or anything you guys could help me with, let's work together and give me some feedback. I'm here to learn. I'm just doing this because you guys are asking me to give you
Hi everyone. So my
been
name is Rudy. Just a small time entrepreneur. Like to do all sorts of things. From I'm a reseller. I do bounty house rentals, buy and sell cars, and as of recently, we bought the Snapmaker 2.0, and man, I'm really loving it. Recently, I acquired a couple of boxes of crystal cups, and so I was thinking, what am I going to do with them? Am I going to sell them, and what am I going to do? And I got this crazy notion of let's see if we could engrave, but according to the specs on Snapmaker website or a bunch of different places, you couldn't do it. So me being the person that I am, I had to find a way. Give me one of those boxes over there. That's my son, cameraman, and man, my kids. They're great. They're part of the business, or they're gonna take everything over. But back to what I was saying. Started, going to the local university, YouTube University, as everyone knows it, and started looking at different videos and different things. Started testing and messing around. No success. Bunch of no success. In fact, I probably ruined a few decent cups. Obviously, you guys know these are some of my. Actually, this one's my first laser engraving I've done. This is from my brother. Passed away 12 years ago. Rest in peace. And his son. And anyway, I came out beautiful. I was super happy. These were the prototypes, and thankfully I've made a couple more. I'll show you a couple other things that I've made. But back to the glass, the crystal. These are the crystals that I got. Wine glass, whiskey, brandy, and, beautiful, beautiful cups. And I don't have the new rotary tool either, which I thought was going to be a big problem. First questions that I got was, why the rice? I'll put the link of the YouTube video of the young lady that gave me the idea. So basically, what the rice really does, it forms around the cup, and it doesn't move around. It keeps it in place. Other option was you could actually put a little bit of rice inside it so it could keep it down. But I think particularly in this particular cup, it really wasn't that necessary. And it kept it fairly level to, fairly flush to the tops. Yeah. And how did I ended up getting, how's that showing? Can you see that, Daniel?
Yeah.
Can you see it on the screen?
Yeah.
Yeah? And then we have this guy, Little Miss over here. And so I primarily stayed with something simple. I didn't go any complicated. This is literally my first project attempt that I did. I stayed with something simple, go Southside White Sox. And if you could tell, this is my first video ever that I've attempted. So if I do a lot, I apologize. Couple of things that I was able to find. So we talked about the rice. That helped from the beginning. I thought that was fairly obvious. Great idea. I've seen a couple other ones where they made their own attachments, permanent ones, and that would probably be a little bit further down the line. But for now, this was perfect fit. The first things that I seen is using some kind of a masking tape on there. When I tried to first things first. Why putting glass in the laser engraver just as is won't do anything. It will not leave any etching at all. Basically, light's just passing through, as a lot of people would know. Me being the stubborn ass, I'm like, I'm still gonna try it just to get it out the way. That's just who I am, even though I knew the logic was there. So, a lot of people, a lot of different videos, I'll be attaching and being grateful. I don't know their names on top of my head because I just go through videos and videos, but there was a lot of good, helpful ones. I talked about the masking tape. It really didn't do anything. It left a couple marks. I think I actually ended up going over with another design, but it didn't. No, actually, I think I got it right here. I don't know if you can see it. It just looked like little scratches.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was nothing major. So the next one was, um, saw a couple of places that erase marker, whiteboard marker. They actually sell like a liquid also, and the idea is that you go in there and of course you mark it down. Um, I did it kind of slimy, but if you actually, you have to try. To fill it out. Now, because I don't have the rotary tool, the area for it to engrave is fairly small because of the groove. Snapmaker, uh, soon I'll be getting that from you guys. Hopefully for Christmas. Um, so this one, and I tried different markers. I tried permanent marker, different shades, and the best one ended up being, of course, the erase marker. But when you did it, because I was testing a lot of them. I think it was this one. I went over it more than one time, but if you notice right here at the bottom, there's another X. It didn't really leave an imprint, and not only that, the little because it doesn't fully cover with the marker. It's different shades on the laser. You get to notice the difference when you take it off, especially when you have like a really dark one like that. And then if you try to go in there, give it a second coat, it just takes it all off. Same thing with permanent marker. So that was horrible. Then I saw a video about this galvanizing compound spray. The guy recommended Rust-Oleum. Where I went to, they didn't have Rust-Oleum. They had Ace Hardware. One quick tip: make sure you shake it, and you shake it really hard because of the galvanizing compound and the metallic elements inside it. And probably it was sitting at the store for a long time. I literally had to shake it for over 40 minutes. In fact, I'm shaking it now. There's actually a shaking ball in there, but you can hear it. So you have to shake it. I actually had to return the first spray can because it clogged everything. Nothing was coming out. So make sure you're coming out. Anyway, with that being said, I finally shook it. I sprayed one cup. It didn't work out too bad, but because it comes out a little bit thick, because it is a thick paint, it actually it's one of the ones that I went over. Again, it was patchy. It was hit and miss kind of a thing. Not only that, when it came to clean off the paint, and I just used regular soap and water, it was really tough to take it off. And then I ended up going with scrubs, and it ended up scratching the glass, and so okay, but I had to let it go unless, yeah. And then I was at home, and like I said earlier, I do a lot of reselling. I buy and sell cars also. And one of the things that I use to put my for sale on the windows is this Sharpie metallic marker. It works really awesome on glass. And I don't. It didn't click in my head about you. Okay, I'll be honest. I couldn't find it, and whatever. So I ended up finding it, and I did a pass through, and it came out great. Okay, now you still see some streaks on there, right? But once it dries up, you could actually go in there and give it a second pass, and it actually holds. Okay, well, didn't give it enough time to dry. Of course, Use a heat gun on low if you're in a rush to get everything going, and it'll work just fine. When you use high heat on your heat gun, sometimes it starts bubbling up or it will come off. So with that being said, this marker worked great. And for if you just want to start something simple and just start testing out, shoot, I think not even $2. And I use it a lot. Now this one's a little bit older already, so it started, it's about to run out. So I knew that the viable option was to find some kind of metallic liquid or paint. They sell dry erase refillable containers to refill these up. So I'm like, maybe they have something for, in a sense, a permanent marker. So another video that I saw was using like a masking transfer tape. I have not tried that. In fact, it was really hard to find it. Even where I live, the Michaels store is a little bit further than I would like it to be. So I just, I went to the local Walmart. They didn't have it. I had to order it. And being the person that I am, I haven't bought it. But they had this guy, art masking fluid. Don't buy it. It's basically glue. It didn't do anything. So yeah. But at the same time, in fact, one of the things that I wanted to say, this guy, just regular, washable dark paint worked pretty good. It did do some engraving, etching on there, but again, this one when you paint it on the crystal, it left too much streaking. Even with a fine paintbrush, it just, but just things that I was trying out. Now, the one that I've been having success is this guy. Never used this paint before. There was a whole bunch of different options at the local store, but this is called Gunmetal Gray. It has like metallic particles inside it. And I did try a couple paintbrushes. I want to say thank you to my kids for your school supplies. Thank you very much. This this orange bristle, it left too many streaks. This guy right here with the white bristle hairs, it works beautifully. I don't know if you guys can see this. Nice little gunmetal gray. I'm just painting it on there. If you give it a good, decent, thick coat. Now you see, it looks streaky, right? I know. But it's actually less streakier than any other thing. It actually, and then right away I could go in there. Now, the first couple times that I did, I used a heat gun, dried it up, put a second coat, and actually did 3 coats. And it came out beautifully. If you notice, there's little, what you might think there, it might be glitter. I'm not 100% sure. But one of the videos that I saw about the galvanized compound, is his theory was that the metallic particles inside it did a chemical reaction with the metallic compound inside it, where the laser actually ended up etching onto the crystal or the glass. Kind Kind of makes sense to me. But anyway, if you go, like I was saying, I wasn't even that long sitting down, and all right, now I had the opportunity to try a couple different laser engravings. Um, my wonderful neighbors, they were going to a wedding. They're going to a wedding, or they went to a wedding, and I got a little bit excited. I'm like, you know what? Let me try something out. It'd be cool. And that's how I ended up trying the metallic paint. It was a simple design. I put it together, just a couple doves, the couple getting married, and engagement ring with the heart. Nothing simple, nothing too fancy. Now, if you notice, this was one of the first ones. I missed the heart there, and it wasn't the paint. It was the way that I set it up and set the cup in here. The parameters of the cup, so you know where it's going to run, because you can tell it'll help a lot. You could see if it's going to go over, it's going to go. If you need to do a couple adjustments. So this was the first one. In fact, eventually, because I did so many and I'm using the same container, I actually made boundaries with the marker so I know where it's set. But you still gotta check it every time. And I was able to do a couple of tests. This one was a full 3 layers of paint. If you notice, I don't know if you guys can see it. It came out really good, right? I did this one under one passing. It was either vertical or horizontal. Either one works great. They took the other set already, but I had the theory of running one vertical and one horizontal, as I'm gonna show you when I show you the settings of the laser. If you have it set correctly, it actually works pretty awesome. It'll do a vertical, it'll do a horizontal, it'll do a good cover. It's a second pass. Sometimes, it goes a little bit out of the area where it's supposed to engrave on either or, but it's barely recognizable. It's something that it's a work in progress. I also had the chance to try with just 1 layer or 2 layers of paint. I'm telling you what, it still worked. It still worked with 1 layer of the gunmetal paint. It did seem a little bit less. It's not dark, but less deep of an engraving than anything else. But it did work. But again, if you have the time and the patience, and if you have a heat gun, it's fairly fast. You run a heat gun through it, dries up real fast, and you set up the laser. That's pretty much about it. If you guys have any feedback, please leave it in your comments below. I'm here to learn. I am not an expert whatsoever. I have a little bit of experience from high school taking drafting and printing. That was back when they actually had these kind of classes in high school. That was a while ago, but I was able to use some of it. It started coming back, and here we go.